Metal at the Marina, August 24th. We are here with Austin Evanchak. Tell us about the inspiration behind this event.
So the inspiration behind the event was just to get bands that need to be recognized, in my opinion, to a show for a larger audience. And not only that, but an end of the summer bash party is always a good idea too.
Yeah, it's at the Frankfort Marina in Frankfort. What can attendees expect from the event on August 24th?
Definitely look forward to the food. The food is one thing I'll be looking forward to. We have Salamone's Pizza truck coming down and Catalin Spanish cuisine. But you can look forward to a lot of very heavy bands that most people probably don't know, but majority of them come right from our area of the 315.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Just a good day with music and friends, you know?
Yeah, and maybe the best part is the cost.
Oh, yeah, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. Although there will be a donation bucket passed around just to get the bands home. I would like people, it would be nice if people could donate gas money to the bands as well as stop at their merch tables, buy a t-shirt, buy a hat, buy a poster, buy anything you want. But all that money you're saving on a ticket and parking, spend on the bands, spend on the vendors as well.
Yeah, absolutely, because there will be 7 bands and 6 of them are there at no cost.
Yeah. A lot of them donated their time and their talent for today just for the sake of putting on a great day.
Awesome. All right, let's talk about you personally. You mentioned that local music has always been in high demand in our area. How do you see events like this contributing to the central New York music scene?
I see this as kind of like an eye-opener to say, wow, there's all these people that listen to this different kind of music. Maybe, our establishments would be a little more willing to put shows on and help get bands that want to play music in our area. Because as of right now, it's very hard to find places for us to play shows because just liability issues. People don't want to put it on just because they don't want to put it on. And I think seeing something like this come together with such a large group of people, maybe it'll kind of get people's heads turning and say, wow, this is a really cool thing. Maybe it could be good for our business too.
Yeah, awesome. And you mentioned that you wanted this event to be in Frankfort. This is the first time that you're doing it. The Frankfort Marina is slowly but surely becoming like this little music spot, which is awesome. They've done Harbor Fest. They've done different events. They're putting in the amphitheater next year. So talk about the importance of Frankfort to you.
So the importance of Frankfort to me is based off of, I guess, going to school in Frankfort. I picked up everything I know about music mostly right in Frankfort. That's where I started most of my first bands. Had all my practice rooms there. Frankfort's just a great little town. And not to mention, back in the day, so when I say that, I'm only 30. I mean, it's super long time ago. So probably 2010, 2012, all the way up to maybe 2014. That time frame right there were actually a lot of local shows happening at the Frankfort Marina. Me and my father, we would actually do the sound for those shows, and that's kind of where I started getting into audio and promoting my own shows on top of that. There were a handful of people back in the day that we would all have friends in local bands. That was just the thing we did to stay out of trouble, I guess. And the Frankfort Marina would let us put shows on whenever we wanted. And so I would like to bring this back to the Marina and hopefully stay at the Marina for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, awesome.
Especially with all of the upcoming projects that they want to do there. I feel like this could be a great, I guess, jump start into that future.
We just elected a rock and roll mayor.
Yeah,
so that helps.
Shout out to Justin Smithson. He actually told me, when the time comes, if I ever wanted to make this a thing, to get a hold of him, and he'd help me get through the necessary hoops to make it happen. So yeah. I got to say a great thank you to him.
Yeah. So you've been playing drums since you were 13, so 17 years ago. So you can say back in the day.
Yeah,
you've been involved with the local music scene since you were 16. How have you seen it evolve? And I guess I would ask you to talk about the metal genre specifically, because it's kind of a bigger community than people probably realize.
Yeah. So when we were younger, and I can at least say from maybe when I was 11 forward, I started going to local shows when I was really young. Didn't start playing music until I was 13, and then started actually playing out with the live bands, local live bands from there on forward. And it's just it's a very niche thing. But if you know about it, you know about it, and you're going to go to it. And a lot of people from when we started doing this are still, they're the ones that are like, we need to make this for the younger kids again, because we started noticing in shows that we started putting on over the past about 2 years that more and more young kids are coming. And it's just a great thing to see their parents show up with them, because I remember when that was me.
Oh.
My dad would bring me to a show and he'd hang out with us, or my mom would just drop us off. And like, that was like Christmas, because your parents aren't there, but everybody kept everybody safe. Nobody ever got in trouble. Nobody ever got hurt. You know what I mean? Everybody looked at us kids as like, okay, they're awesome for being here, And that's what I hope to inspire from a lot of this now, and what I can see it evolving into. I'd like to see more kids come out and be interested to say, wow, that makes me want to play drums, or wow, that makes me want to play guitar, or wow, that makes me want to yell into a microphone,
Yeah.
It's all about the children, as cliche as it is, but we need kids to play music, and we need kids to play instruments.
Yeah.
And I think this is just another, I guess, inspiration for them to look for.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the biggest misconception when it comes to metal specifically?
That we're all violent, that we're all rude, that we're all mean and don't want to be talked to. But I can tell you now that the people with the most tattoos have the biggest hearts, and a lot of them are some of the most talented people I've ever met in my life. I'm going to drop this band who's playing, Inertia, actually. I believe their guitar player just did like a jazz master class or something like that. And their band performed on a campus. And like, that's what I mean by these people are so talented that you would never know it, because it's such a small, like, niche network.
Yeah. So you'll know, I don't, but is Metallica considered metal, or are they heavy rock?
I guess, for me, Metallica's classic rock.
Okay.
Heavy rock. I guess the easiest analogy I can give you is we're looking at bands like Slayer.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, the reason I ask is because Metallica, in my opinion, kind of, crossed that threshold when they did the whole thing with like the Philadelphia Orchestra
and stuff like that is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. There's a band called Rivers of Nile, actually, and they have a saxophone with them live, and they're playing some of, again, the most talented stuff in the world, but you would never think that a saxophone fits what they're doing,
right,
or would fit the genre of metal, So the Metallica playing with the symphony, that was pretty groundbreaking, in my opinion, for when the time came, because I've always wanted to play with a symphony, just me personally.
Yeah. You got time. You can.
I hope so, man.
Share a personal story or memorable moment with the local music scene that stands out to you or made an impact on you.
The Herkimer County Fair. I don't know what year it was, but it was the first time I ever went to a Battle of the Bands.
Okay.
And I'm probably anywhere from 9 to 11 years old. I don't know what year it was, but everybody, like, I was in the front, I was headbanging, and everybody was just so happy that I was there doing it with them. People would pick me up to crowd surf me. And I think that crowd experience from a metal community was what really made me be like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Because
I've been to other concerts where it's not a metal show, and, if you stand up in someone's way, they're rude to you about it, But at a metal show, somebody bumps into you, they at least apologize.
It's encouraged.
Yeah, it's very encouraged. So I think that right there was the biggest local music inspiration I've ever been a part of.
So you said back in the day, I'm really going to date myself now. This was 2 years before you were born. It was 1992. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing you're around 94. Yeah. Frankfort High School, the auditorium, a band called Chaos.
Okay.
You may not be familiar, but the lead singer, Joe Sweet.
Yeah.
I think it was Joe's probably junior or senior year. It was him, Frank LaPuma, Chris Polito, and Joe Basie. Mm-hmm. And they had the dry ice machine. It was like a Friday night concert. So we
Yeah.
were like all jacked up during school. We're gonna get to go see Chaos play at the Odd at the high school, which was hysterical. But you know, when you shared that story about when you were younger, Battle of the Bands, it brought me back to that moment when I was probably, you know, a freshman, 8th grade freshman. And just seeing Joe and his band play like loud, heavy music, and it touches your soul.
And that, you know, that happened in 92. You know what I mean? Music has been small, intimate music, I guess, events like that are what really stand out in people's minds. You know, I love playing the random small show for the homies with like the 50-person room that everybody's shoulder to shoulder in, just because it's more intimate, you know. And me and my cousin Bobby, we played in the old gym for a pep rally one time, and nobody had any idea what was going on because we didn't play music anybody knew. We only played covers that we knew,
right.
But we thought they were awesome because it was heavy metal, you know?
Yeah. So you've always been a metal guy.
Yeah. I can tell you now, our principal was not happy.
Who was the principal?
Mr. Stankovic at the time. He after hearing what me and Bob were playing, not that it was bad or poorly performed, it was just too loud, you know. He was like, we can't have that again.
I know we're here to promote the event and we'll get back to it, but since we're going down memory lane at Frankfort Schuyler, when Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit came out, this is when we all got into moshing, right? And it was actually banned
from the school,
from the dances, right? We would always request it, and everyone started moshing, and the teachers lost their stuff, and that was it for Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Frankfort's always had just bad luck with school events.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. Is rock dead?
No,
okay.
I don't think so at all. But if you listen to the radio, I think that new age modern rock has gone on a different trajectory than compared to what classic rock is now considered. You know, like bands nowadays, they're not using amps anymore. They're using all digital pedal boards. So you can just take one cable and plug that right into the PA system and you're good to go.
Right.
Where back in the day, people were still using amps and cabs and really heavy pieces of equipment, you know, and vanfuls of gear, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that sound can't be replicated now, along with that style can't be replicated now, because I think modern rock is going more towards a digital age. So you're starting to hear more electronic samples and stuff like that within the songs. But I don't think rock's dead whatsoever. I really don't. I think it's one of if a genre of music could be considered an industry, that would be the top tier industry.
Okay. What, there's no tickets for this?
Nope.
Open to the public? What time do you start?
So we have the parking lot open at 1 p.m., music starting at 2 p.m., and every band is projected to start at the top of every hour.
Okay. What would be success from an attendance standpoint, or, you know, on Sunday, the 25th, after the event is over, it will be successful if this happened?
If it doesn't rain.
Well, listen,
we're hoping for good weather. And the last time I checked, the other day, it was projected to be 84 and sunny.
Okay.
So we're hoping
leave it there.
We're hoping that rings true.
How many people are you hoping for?
I mean, I'll be happy with 100.
Okay.
You know, I'm not worried about how many people come. I'm just hoping that people do come and they have fun and the bands have a good time. And I mean, I don't want to set my expectations too high because Facebook numbers sometimes lie to you. And on our event page, it says there's over 300 people interested. Interested is great, but it only says there's 100 people going.
Yeah.
So I like to take that into consideration. But if we can hit 100 people, I would be overjoyed.
You'll hit over 100 people. And you also have to understand when you plan these events, it's very nerve-wracking because no one wants to commit early.
Yes.
It is very weather dependent. You're right. So if it is a nice day and you know, you hype it up and we'll help you do that, you know, you'll get some people down there last minute.
And what I'm hoping for too is that the people that are coming, please come early and please stay for every band. Every band on this bill deserves everybody's attention. And, you know, if you can't show up until late, that's fine. But when you do get there, please stay until the very end.
How do people connect with you on social? How do they find out more information about this?
You can go to Metal at the Marina on Facebook. that we have an event page set up. You can even check out any of the 7 bands. My band, Gravesite, we've been promoting it. Seventh Siege, they're another local band that's been promoting it. Slumlord is the other local band that we have on that bill.
I love that name.
So we have Slumlord opening, and then we have Blooded from Watertown, and they're good buddies of mine. Really groovy stuff. Really, I get groovy. That's like the easiest word I can use for it. And then Karen, there's a band called Karen, and they're phenomenal. I've only seen them play one time, but as soon as they got off stage, I was like, I need your contact info. Like, I got to get you to town. Then Seventh Siege is playing, Inertia is playing, Gravesite, my band is playing, and then Knights of Malice from New Jersey is our headliner for the afternoon.
Awesome. And annual event, is that the hope?
We'll see how well this one goes, and if the town wants it back.
Of course they will, and we had a guest on recently who said there's a lid for every pot. And I've never heard that expression, but I like it, and different strokes for different folks, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so,
pretty much.
I'm sure you'll open some eyes, and the people that
I really hope that the people who are like, let's go see what it's all about, get there and are like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. That in my eyes is success. Just for somebody to walk down from parking their car and saying, this is cool,
Yeah. Metal at the Marina, August 24th, the Frankfort Marina. This is Austin. You've been awesome.
Thank you very much.
And
thanks for having me today.
Yeah. Anything that we missed?
Nope. It's free. Parking opens at 1. Music starts at 2. And bring an umbrella just in case.
No umbrellas needed. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Love Living Local. As you know, we do not run ads. Our only mission is to shine a spotlight on amazing people doing amazing things here in our local community. If you'd like to support us with this mission, we have 3 ways you can help. You can share our content on social, subscribe or follow the show on your favorite podcast platform, and you can visit our lovelivinglocals315.com website to stay up to date with everything happening in Central New York.